definitely like I couldn't tell you the characters he plays. He's a bit like the Z of Toronto in that he plays such a wide cast of characters. Meanwhile, Z teaming with such a solid player in Chag, and Z kind of has that Swiss Army knife of who am I going to bust out for this matchup. But we're getting Mythra Game & Watch versus Diddy and Palutena.
Definitely a mixed match of characters for sure. And I like you mentioned that too. Yeah, of course, Blacktwins and Z, if we make parallels, they basically are the Quebec and Ontario equivalents of each other. Being, as you mentioned, a top player that can pretty much play any character they want.
And they TO.
Situation. And they TO, there you go, see? And they're great in their own right. But of course, Z putting all this together, but of course, make himself into winners finals. He basically made this tournament so that he could kick everyone's butt.
Yeah.
The red team is actually starting off pretty decently in the early goings, but of course, this is where they feel out. And I feel a lot of players, the top players, they kind of let your opponent like beat them up for a bit, and then they kind of adapt really quickly. So even if you're like a new player and you're like, hey, I'm actually doing pretty good against this top player, and then minutes later you get wrecked.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to see what your opponent does aggressively and build on that.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of one of the big strengths of these high-level players, is they'll kind of immediately get a feel for what is your bread and butter aggression, how do I counter that, and when you get frustrated, what are your panic options? And if you can figure that out within like a minute and a half of the first game, the set can go wildly different than you expect.
Definitely worth it. Like a string of kills right there from Mr. Game & Watch. Again, getting a down smash is basically a 2-for-1 deal with the smash attacks and just ripping the red team stocks all way. Keeping it to even though, at least.
Yeah, GRIMACE, player definitely known for just kind of putting out consistent, reliable damage. Not really going for those risky nines as much as some other Game & Watch players, but just kind of relying on those neutral airs, those up airs, juggling people, making it a pain to land, and then just coming back and being like, oh, my opponents are both at 50%, and all I've had to do is mash the big green button on my controller a little bit.
Basically. He definitely has the buttons to like, and the frame data to just like throw things around, but he's also no stranger to playing the long game too. Like, he'll either like kill you in 30 seconds or he'll time you out. It's like he's totally fine with playing either end of the spectrum. Gets the chair sending him off stage. Palutena does not have the best recovery in terms of having a hitbox, so it can be susceptible to the big hitboxes of Game & Watch.
It is a nice little scenario to see, though, because now Chag is aware that GRIMACE is not afraid to go deep for those bears, and you got to commit that to memory because you don't want to get caught later on in the set.
Absolutely, and this is actually, again, if you guys didn't see the weekly that transpired on Thursday, there actually was a set between Game & Watch and, between GRIMACE and Chag in grand finals, and what's super funny is that he was reading these options. Of course, Game & Watch jumping all around, flying in the air, and then in 1 second she just jumped up aired, punished him for doing the up B, and killed him at 30. Very specific, but again, as you mentioned before, not afraid to get those options and not let Game & Watch run around freely.
Yeah. Considering that's what the character excels at too, if you can counter that, you've definitely got the matchup on lock.
That's it. It might not look as as free as it kind of looks on paper when you're in the matchup, but there are definitely ways to punish Game & Watch when he's flying in the air, but it's that it seems like it's almost unpunishable, but it definitely is.
And you'll notice that Blacktwin's kind of sticking to the Pyra right now, recognizing that Chag is at pretty much kill percent, and Z is very fast approaching kill percent.
That's it. Diddy Kong not the heaviest character either. Although, speaking of which, neither is Game & Watch, and almost taken off by the up smash from Diddy Kong.
Ooh, trying to go for an up B there. Gonna use the Mythra to recover. Is he gonna swap back to Pyra though? No, commits to an F smash.
Oh, he's in the foresight actually getting in because of that. So usually the auto reticle is just like, oh my god, actually take him out with the back air.
Yeah, GRIMACE forced to play very defensive there, but playing around at the ledge and following up on Blacktwin's aggression, exactly what you want to be doing in doubles. And he gets control of the banana too, so a little bit of 3% on Chag.
So I gotta imagine that all these players' item control is phenomenal. So of course Diddy Kong gonna benefit from spawning the banana, but should the banana land in someone else's hands, they will take advantage of it as well. Oh, sticky situation for Mythra.
Ooh,
not even the strongest I've hit, but just enough to make sure the recovery did not work. And given the percentage right now, GRIMACE would have to put in work right now, but no.
Drifts into the lingering hitbox of the up smash and Palutena. That move is absurd. Palutena up smash 100%. Is not okay.
You can have all of that and just not have the lingering hitbox as you saw right there, because you think like, okay, attack is out, at least I can flow back into it. But no, it lasts deceptively longer more than you think. And of course, just being gigantic in its own right, being a fantastic ledge move. Yeah, fair enough.
I would say a rare misplay out of GRIMACE too. Usually a player that really utilizes that air drift that, and floatiness that Game & Watch has very effectively to not get caught by that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
But unfortunately falling right back into it. So
that's it,
I don't know if it was a misplay on his part or a very good read on Chag's part or a bit of both. But it's going to be interesting to see how they adapt for game number 2.
Sometimes it's throwing giant hitboxes work, and Palutena has those good buttons to throw out. So I can be honest, like, I'm not the biggest Palutena fan. That's it. That's the end of the sentence. Moving on. Taking it down to City, a much bigger stage to work with.
Nice little burrow there, trying to juggle Z a little bit, but GRIMACE more than happy to kind of just stand at the ledge and let his opponent come to him.
And unless he's like the early goings, given this big stage, we're seeing a pair of two 1v1s going on the other side. Sometimes that's all it needs. The guys are good players, so they can definitely play the 1v1. So you definitely see the players like the siblings we saw already with Venom and Smock and Super Gokels and Soar. They will play those combo games and power off each other. But sometimes you just put two players together, they play 2v1s, and that's all that matters. The barrels are still in the air.
I was going to say, is he getting a little bit predictable with those side Bs? And you saw a great punish with GRIMACE kind of spacing out those back airs. But now that he's back on stage, Chag kind of really putting on the pressure, getting a lot of grabs on GRIMACE. This is the third one in like the past
and a kill
35 seconds.
Not quite. Yeah, Z's Achilles heel is that he does rely a lot on the, but never mind about that, we got a forward smash coming out. On the monkey flip, sorry. So he's got to watch out for that, but again, both the red team losing their stock in an instant.
And you'll notice GRIMACE taunted there. That is a very GRIMACE. GRIMACE loves taunting and getting in his opponent's head.
Let's say that is peak. Like, technically he's losing in terms of the set count, but like, that is peak GRIMACE right there.
Yeah. GRIMACE is very momentum-based, but not in the way of you get momentum and hold it. GRIMACE is kind of the player that just, I don't know how to describe it. GRIMACE just messes with the momentum of the game in a way that he's comfortable with that no one else understands.
So that's why I say you can play the long game, or you can play the short game, or you can taunt his opponent. He can be silly, he can be serious. That's why it's kind of hard to get a grasp on him. And Game & Watch, of course, fits that to a T.
Not quite connecting with the back air there, but putting a ton of pressure on Chag, forcing him to try to land somewhere else.
That's it. And despite Game & Watch being the lightest character among these four, still holding onto that stock until now. The banana sneaking almost out of nowhere, getting the up smash conversion from it.
Ooh, a very smart swap out of Blacktwins to recover.
Yeah,
and Z, unfortunately, got a little too hungry for that kill, and Blacktwins just expertly dealing with the offstage game.
That's it. It's the way that pans out sometimes is you go off stage to potentially shut down your opponent, but it can very easily get reversed back into your favor.
And Z's already at 67%. A stray smash from Pyra, or a down smash burrow into something else out of
There you go,
and his stock is gone.
Smash. Just like that, he's going to take the stock. It doesn't seem like it. I think Chag is going to feel out the... Yeah, it's not even an opportunity to do
Take it now. Oh, come on.
Take it now, Match.
Come on.
That is,
that's the essence of Smash, is taking your teammate's stock.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of taunts here. I imagine we're going to see a lot of taunts, especially with Chag still dealing with a fresh stock right now. But, I mean, 4 stocks to 1. Definitely the best player we have here today is a seeded first in our singles bracket. But, I mean, this would have to be legendary.
Ooh. I think Blacktwins was trying to get a grab there and just kind of hold while the platform went away. But unfortunately for him, Chag just had his number. And Chag still very much fighting till the bitter end here, despite being down.
That's it. Looking semi-comfortable, as weird as it is to say. Hasn't really got up to a combo until now. And that's the thing, these two players don't really team with each other much. They're from completely different regions, so they don't really have the most punishing 2v1 situations.
And you'll notice how low GRIMACE went with that back air, trying to get the drag down rather than the stage spike.
Oh, geez, and what move is Pyra going to kill with? The answer is just yes. Anything can kill off his character. A stray hit is all he needs. A grab into anything Pyra wants could be it. And I love the reflect coming out. It is actually a projectile. Gets the chair, hits him with the steel chair, WWE style. Puts himself back on the board. This is now winners final, so we can definitely say that it's a best of 5. So those first 2 matches got to feel out both sides of the teams.
Also worth noting that that was a very long time to be in the 2v1, and Chag was still putting his heart into it.
Yeah.
So Z, if Z had any momentum going on, might have cooled down a little bit by having to wait that out. And then, meanwhile, Chag might be a little bit more burnt out, having played all the way through doubles to this point and still trying to put in this much effort against someone who's taunting you.
That's like
it's as much a mental game.
The psychology of the players.
It's as much a mental game as it is like a physical and
And I hear you. I've seen a lot of times where in a similar situation, 4 stocks to 1, sometimes they'll just drop the stock, go on to the next game. It's not going to be fight. Yeah. But again, the benefit of having that 2-0 lead is worth having sometimes. But again, here we are, 1v1 situation, taking it to Kalos, another large stage between these two.
See, Z unfortunately couldn't really follow up on that grab because he had the banana in hand. At what point do you give up on the banana to follow up with your teammate?
That's it. It's tough to say. Unfortunately, a banana is a great tool, but in doubles, it does, as you mentioned, does lack a little in that area. And I like to see imagine Kalos is coming out right now because FD was banned. Obviously a huge favorite of Diddy Kong, but the next best thing here, flat stage to work with as well.
Yeah. I was going to say, Z unfortunately doesn't have the same kind of options that like a Link would, where you can Z drop the bomb into an air and still get your aerials out to combo. You don't want to risk losing your banana, and that could be his downfall, holding on to that too much.
Especially since he lost his last stock right there from a banana, just happening to go into the favor of Black Twins, using that into an F smash. And again, you know, it kind of hurts a lot more from Pyra when you get a banana up forward smash than it does with Diddy Kong. So
Diddy Kong hits hard, but Pyra hits harder.
Yeah, it's in layman's terms, that's it, exactly. Everyone is, again, looking for his first stock, and it is actually GRIMACE. Oh, actually, a pair of them going off.
A huge trade out of Black Twins there. And he gets the parry, and he converts the stock. So now, a decent lead on the blue team, and the longer that Black Twins holds on to the stock, the more of a lead they're going to pull.
Absolutely. Definitely doubles when it comes to it. It's a very momentum-based. Never mind, we're right back to even right now.
Chag with a very cheeky spot dodge to down smash there.
Again, sometimes down smashes are just nice to throw in these chaotic double situations. They hit on both sides, so it requires little thinking and spacing sometimes. Just throw it out.
You would say it's almost like a scrub move that you wouldn't expect of a higher caliber player, and that's why you get caught by it.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't be surprised if Z also started doing a trick that I actually found out from Smock, which is you pull the banana, you throw it straight down and pick it back up so that if you do whip the second throw, it at least disappears and your opponents can't get a hold of it.
Oh, that's actually smart. Yeah, because banana does bounce twice. It'll land twice before disappearing, so that's a good option if you want to make sure that you can get a banana throw and not give it to your opponent either. And he gets a forward smash from coast to coast. Doesn't matter.
Forward smash. The Aikyo special. For those in chat who know, that's the Aikyo special.
For those who know, yeah, 700 people, probably like 2 people are going to get that, but it's all
2 people understood that, but that was for you.
We're here for everyone, of course. And now we're seeing Game Watch being, he was the one who lost the first stock first, but he's holding up to it. Never mind. I feel like I'm going to say that a lot, and stocks have just been flying. Despite the big stage of Kalos, like, stocks have just been flying this whole time. Only 2 minutes in the game itself.
We also just noticed an up smash out of Chag, probably trying to not necessarily fish, but definitely needs to start closing out those stocks on Black Twins, because that lead that Black Twins has been holding has been paramount in the set. Absolutely, and right now, it's really putting in its money's worth.
Especially since the percentage is just climbing on the red team right now, that they can ill afford. And especially an all-important Game 3, as a wise man River once said, Game 3 might be the most important in Game 5.
GRIMACE has been playing phenomenal at that ledge.
Okay. And now we got a 2v1 situation for Diddy Kong.
Very smart short hop out of Z to not get tripped up by the banana there. If he didn't jump, he was caught and dead.
Oh, okay, we'll take that. I mean, that's how it starts. He's got to take what he can get. It is a 2v1 situation, but I mean, he does have Solstice, and his friend the banana could help quite a bit.
And I think GRIMACE is banking on Z being hungry for a down air, and that's why he kind of baited him there. Got a huge juggle with those up airs, and now Z is very much in the danger zone at 124%.
Let's see, Homie going low for that.
Going for a footstool?
Maybe, potentially. You got to make something happen.
Goes for the wall cling? Definitely. Z. Oh, wow.
And that's what's so hard about 2v1 situation. It's not just about hitting the opponents away, because if you do that, you'll be left in the lag that your other opponent can come and punish you for it. So it's a really safe game you got to play.
This is winners finals, so I'm willing to bet a lot of money it's a best of 5, which is probably why.
Geez. How did he follow up on that? I saw the barrels fly away. I'm like, where did Diddy Kong go? But somehow Black Twins knew where he was.
Black Twins knew.
He knew.
Black Twins always knows.
He knew the exact direction he was going to go in after that. He's measured a trajectory. He's been in the training mode. He knows. So again, we do have, I don't want to say the first seeds, because the first seeds are actually sitting in losers right now, but technically if right now they would technically be the first seeds, but they're the 4th seeds, but these guys are the 2nd seeds. I don't know. Seeds do not matter. We just have 2 players on either team that are phenomenal. And we're going to a Game 4 situation. Of course, Z and Chag on their potential last game of winners. And they don't really want to deal with the pair of either siblings down in the losers bracket between Venom and Smock or Kells and Soar.
I'm guessing each of them had to fight one or the other to get to where they are now.
So we did have the quote-unquote upset from Chag and Z coming over the brother and sister combo, where it's on the opposite side, as you mentioned before. The brothers were taken down, but they look like they're fighting right back up.
And a bit of a character switch, Z swapping over to the Cloud.
That is a good doubles character. It's been known like a tried and true tale right there. And it didn't seem like the Diddy worked out in those last 2 games, to be fair. He's usually taking a lot of early stocks, especially from the Pyra, so I don't dislike the choice.
I'm not going to say an exploitable recovery, but definitely a very weak recovery that a floaty character like Game & Watch can really abuse. Cloud's not a whole lot better, but at the same time, when you're getting beat really bad with whatever character you're playing, you need to do something to change your mentality and get back into it. And Z thinks that Cloud can do it, so I trust his judgment.
Absolutely. That's why you see Cloud pretty much hanging towards the middle stage, because once you get off stage, that could be a death sentence, no matter the percentage. Limit's going to help him out here, but he's got to make sure that he doesn't get knocked off stage without Limit. And we do have Chag actually taking the first stock right now.
And you'll notice that Black Twins played very patient at the ledge there, more than happy to let Z recover, knowing that it would cost a limit. At that point, that is the trade of free recovery, but you use your limit, is kind of worth.
Chag just did 4 down tilts in a row, and it worked, and it actually nets them some stocks.
GRIMACE trying to do what Black Twins was doing last game and just hold on to those stocks.
My God, he actually went for a walk-up judge. Didn't quite pan out, unfortunately lost his stock for it. And that's the other thing we mentioned about GRIMACE. He'll throw it to side B if he wants to. Is it optimal? No. Is it effective? Sometimes. I don't know how they make it work. The Game Watchers will get 9s when they most need it.
But Luigi's will get misfires when they need it. More than Game & Watches will get 9s when they need it. I think I have no idea if that's statistically true, but that's what it feels like.
Technically, on base value, no. It's a 1 in 9 chance versus a 1 in 10 chance, so technically no, but it definitely feels that way.
Oh, wow, Black Twins landing an excellent up B there. Not quite killing Z. Z definitely showing the weight of Cloud might actually be the survivability that this team needed.
Absolutely. I think the Diddy Kong was just getting hurled everywhere. You saw the percentage go up so fast and the stocks not too long after. But the Cloud has been putting into work as a survivability.
Wow, and you saw Chag go so low there to try and connect with that Nair, but Game & Watch, one of the few characters that can dip even lower and recover with that invincible up B.
That's the problem. Sometimes you got to go as low as your recovery will let you, but sometimes the players going against you, they have better recoveries than you. Gets the up smash, but unfortunately, the limit cross slash. What happens here?
He hit his teammate, and Chag ended up losing the stock there. So, tied on stocks, but not on percent. Blue
Absolutely
team
not. The blue
struggling
team is struggling
to live right now.
Misses the up B on the ledge there. Not quite going to do it. Has to take his stock right now. Not good. I mean, good obviously for him, but GRIMACE cannot afford another hit from either of these characters. Oh, back throw. No, doesn't quite get it.
That should be stock.
100%.
That is. Limit cross slash against someone as light as Game & Watch is not going to happen.
How has every game we've seen, at least in the last 3, including this one, always been a 2v1 situation with 3 stocks to 1? The swerving momentum has just changed each time these guys have played. But yeah, I think the Cloud is doing phenomenal. If there's any character
fast enough to deal with a 2v1, though, Mythra is definitely a contender.
That's it. I don't think we're going to see the Pyra. I think we're going to see the Mythra just run laps and potentially get the hits as she can. Waste the finishing touch set. I think he was still charting. Or thought he was still charting, rather.
Confident switch to Pyra there. That's going to be it? No, the weak hit, not quite enough. Doesn't quite
That's going to be big. Oh, yeah. Easy pickings. Get for the forward throw into forward smash.
That is a 2-winged Angel.
Yeah. I don't think I ever expected not to see a Game 5, but here we are. Hope you guys are having a great time. Game 5 winners finals right now. So that Cloud is actually a huge swing momentum in that 4th game. I usually say the 3rd game is the most important, but that switch to Cloud was actually the most defining point so far. Yeah. And now we're kind of in the team where, like, well, we did really well in those first 2 games we won, but that was against Diddy Kong. Now we have a Cloud to deal with. Where do we go from here? And you did mention before, Black Twins as well has some deep pockets.
He does have those deep pockets. In my opinion, I think they're going to rely on the stage counter pick. I don't think they're going to swap characters. I think Black Twins has been putting in so much work with Pyra and Mythra since they've been out, and just reliably so. And they're just going to try to adapt gameplay-wise and stage-wise to deal with it. And it looks like that's what's happening.
We're sticking with the same teams, actually.
Same team as last game. But where are we headed? We are headed to Hollow Bastion.
A much smaller stage, so I guess they want to keep at close quarters. Not that Palutena and Cloud are the characters you really want to stay close to, but it definitely gives them less space to run around and charge limit.
Yeah, definitely easier to cover landings on this tiny little stage too. And without those high platforms, someone like Game & Watch can just kind of shark you with those up airs a little bit easier.
Absolutely. Game & Watch almost getting off the top there against Palutena. It's really hard to land on. Even with a down air from Game & Watch, the Palutena extends so high up.
Oh, GRIMACE going.
Oh no, Cloud taking an early
there.
loss. And that's the recovery we were talking about. I mean, it does the job.
I don't know where the limit was at before that happened. I wasn't paying attention to the limit. But in scenarios like that, you've got to charge with Cloud to make sure you've got your limit on deck because it's the only way to make it back.
So you got to guarantee. Throwing in a Judge in there for good measure. Could have got a 9 to just really cinch the victory, but still getting some good damage off of regardless. And now you see the red team trying to hold the fort right now. That stage control is definitely their advantage. But again, the up B is such a reliable tool to break things up from Game & Watch.
Yeah. And so far, it kind of looks like Black Twins and GRIMACE have been focusing Z as if Z was the weak link, just character-wise. Like, Chag's got such solid play, and Palutena is such a frame data, like, monster that kind of 2v1ing the Cloud and bullying him a bit more might just be the play here to get the lead.
That's it, especially in those off-stage interactions, no question about it right now. As everyone's kind of getting high percentage right now, but again, the stock deficit is looking kind of grim right now for the red team.
Yeah, we did see some friendly fire out of Z there, knocking Palu with the up smash to take the stock, but they still have a chance to recover here, but they've got to play on point, and right now Black Twins might just be too much to handle.
Yeah, looking at double the stocks right now. Finally getting a nice up smash combo, but again, that's just the beginning right now, is even Palutena not in the healthiest situation in the second stock.
Yeah, especially that you've now seen that kill setup, and you see GRIMACE kind of knew he's going to fish for that grab now that I'm at that kill percent, because that's the kind of follow-ups that you can expect out of Chag.
That's it. You got to be aware of those kill options at all times. And it always scares me. Every time he goes for that air dodge to ledge, it always scares me. I'm like, he's not going to make it this time, but he does every time.
GRIMACE more than happy to take this to the time limit.
Oh yeah, there's no reason not to. I don't think he's even thrown out a proper attack until now.
Oh, wow. They're both on last stock and 5 stocks.
Yeah. Those are stock taking hard, too. Again, the lightest character on the stage, but he's living the longest right now. Hasn't even lost a stock yet. He's like, Blacktwins can take care of it. I have some extra stocks in reserve if you need them.
Not quite getting a follow-up on Z due to Chag being such a good teammate there. But a nice little sequence out of Black Twins, and wow, swatches to the Pyra mid-follow-up from his teammate's hit.
It's the instant switch into attack there from Pyra. Oh, opportunity time.
Oh, trying to follow up, trying to place himself with his floaty air mobility, but GRIMACE is just a nuisance right now. 147, full stocks. He is ready to give that stock to Black Twins.
I think GRIMACE hasn't, I'm not going to say he hasn't been helpful, but he's really just kind of playing the passive game right now. He's just like, I want to win this game with 3 stocks, but it's not going to happen today.
Well, he has no reason to approach right now. The huge lead they have, the fact that Black Twins is still putting in that much work, like him holding the stock is almost more valuable than him helping combo.
Honestly, yes. As finally Cloud loses second stock, Chag is going to have to make a miracle happen right now. I think we are looking at the grand finals right now.
Like you said, 1 stock versus 3.
It's always been that
Black
way.
Twins holding it down.
Yep, clapping it up for, again, there was definitely 4 or 5 teams that could have made it to grand finals, so good to see right here. We have a bit of an international combined, and we have a Quebec and Ontario moving on, so yeah, you can't be upset about that.
Don't forget to spam the grenouille to help Grimouille.
Of course, Grimouille being, of course, GRIMACE.
Yes.
I don't think he needs the support. I think he's doing phenomenally on his own, but it never hurts to get a little shout-outs from the people. And the grenouille is a fun little emoji. As I do believe we're going to go to another little break. Of course, give some shout-outs to our excellent ads, people supporting us. We're in the scene. Of course, shouts to Red Bull. Shouts to Chag, who's actually selling merch. Check him out.
And thank you all for being here.
Thank you all for being here.
So nice to have you all active in the chat. I'm sure it's active. We'd have no idea from
I have no idea. My phone dies pretty fast. I can't literally look. But I appreciate you guys nonetheless.
Send some hearts in the chat for River, who's been holding down the stream pretty much all day.
Absolutely. River, you will see him later on. He is doing some commentary as well. But, you know, he's also manning the fort, making this all look super, super clean. Hope we get some shout-outs there. Spam.